We have some breaking news out of Iran. According to reports on Iranian state media, Iran's attorney general this morning revealed that Iran's morality police have been disbanded. Now, this comes amid monumental anti-government protests in Iran, which were initially ignited back in September when 22-year-old Mahsa Amini died after being arrested by Iran's morality police for allegedly failing to fully cover her hair, defying the country's strict dress codes for women. The daily protests continue amid a massive and extremely violent crackdown, which has led to more than 15,000 arrests, according to the United Nations, more than 400 deaths, according to Iran Human Rights Organization. Additionally, multiple protesters have been sentenced to death for the crimes of, quote, enmity against God and corruption on earth, according to Iranian state media. Now, this morning, I called my good friend, NBC's Ali Arouzi, who routinely reports for NBC from inside Iran. He only left the country yesterday. He tells me that the situation in Iran is coming apart. It's a society in collapse, with people chanting things like death to the dictator every night and violence across the country. Even before the reported disbandment of Iran's morality police, Ali told me that the majority of the women that he's seen in Tehran have not been wearing head covers, and police were not enforcing them. Even at the airport, and normally a highly restricted place where I first saw the morality police when I landed in Iran a few years ago, Ali estimates that yesterday about 70% of the women in the airport were not wearing head coverings. NBC News foreign correspondent Raf Sanchez is following this story closely from London. Raf, what's the latest on what we're hearing out of Iran?
Yeah, Ali, as our colleague Ali Arouzi has been reporting, Iran's infamous morality police have basically disappeared over the last couple of weeks from the streets of Tehran and other major cities. Now, what happened today was not a formal declaration. Instead, the prosecutor general of Iran was attending a religious conference, and he was asked at that conference, why have the morality police been shut down? And he didn't take issue with the premise of that question. Instead, he said about the morality police, the same institution that established it has now abolished it. Now, we should be really clear. The prosecutor general is not in charge of the morality police. And Ali, as you know, nothing in Iran is final until Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, says it is. But this is a very, very significant moment. This is a very senior Iranian official appearing to say that the morality police have been abolished, and that chimes with the lived experience of Iranians. Women are walking around in central Tehran right now without the hijab, and where a couple of months ago they would have been instantly pounced on by the morality police, they say they are largely being left alone. Also worth noting, the prosecutor general said the legislation that makes the hijab mandatory in Iran is being reviewed by both the judiciary and the parliament. He said this is going to be a 15-day review. We don't know what is going to come out of it. But Ali, as you were saying, the morality police have been the focus of so much public anger in Iran over the last couple of weeks. It was the morality police that stopped Mahsa Amini before her death. And it is possible that this slightly kind of roundabout way that the Iranian regime appears to have made this announcement is their way of making a concession to the protesters without appearing to make a concession, in the same way that in China the government appears to be inching away from this zero COVID policy after the protests of the last 10 days, but without acknowledging that they are giving in to the demands of the protesters. Like I said, not an official declaration. We have not yet heard from the supreme leader of Iran, but this does appear to be a very significant turning point in the Islamic Republic after these months and months of protests.
You make a very interesting point, because it was hard to get to the bottom of what this is. Was this an official statement? Was it coming from the government? Was it just happening? Iran, the regime there, doesn't do anything that isn't particularly calculated. So there's something behind this. We appreciate you getting on the story so quickly for us, Raf Sanchez in London. We'll follow the story very closely.